Hey, wow, what a great day. What a great day. Let me tell you, it's a great day. It's a great day. It's a great day. Everything is unfolding in divine perfection. For sure. For sure. I know this. Welcome, everybody. So glad you guys are joining. So glad. Thank you, brother. Thanks for coming in, Ethan. Great to see you. Welcome, everybody in the Facebook world, in the Instagram world, in the YouTube world, and all the worlds. There's only one world. Woohoo. Yeah, brother. All right. So I'm so excited to talk to you guys about today because I have this great topic. I'm gonna take my glasses off. So now I won't be able to see anybody's comments because I don't have my glasses on, but I can say, hey, I can see you, Diego, over there. Yes. All right. Welcome, welcome. So this topic, problem or circumstance. Man, this is such a good thing to remember. It's such a good thing to remember what we bring to the situation. So I wanted to share with you guys a couple of things that had happened with me recently and why this topic came up. I was at Rythmia, of course, and at Rythmia, it's just amazing where miracles are happening everywhere, every day, all the time, and they happen in the strangest places. So I'm just at lunch with somebody, and this dear friend of mine, Darcy, says to me that she got an insight in ceremony, and the insight was that the medicine showed her there was a distinction between a problem and a circumstance. And I thought, well, that's brilliant. I love that. I'm like, where'd you get that? And she goes, what, the medicine? What do you think? What do you think? So I began to think about this and to see that in the spiritual principle is everything is unfolding in divine perfection. Better yet, the spiritual principle is that everything is working together for our good. That's really the spiritual principle. And we have all sorts of examples of how what we think is bad is actually good. And in fact, in life, nothing stays good. Hey, Nicola, great to see you. Nothing stays good, ever. In fact, that's the process of life. And this is the thing that we need to click into, that good and bad do not exist. It's this cycle of life. And I know you go, oh, no, there's something good and there's something bad. Yes, just like there's something hot and there's something cold. There's definitely something hot and there's definitely something cold. So hot and cold, but I'm going to tell you that hot and cold don't exist. I'm going to tell you there's only hot, there's only heat. And you can say, well, there's something good and there's something bad. And I'm going to tell you good and bad don't exist. There's only good. There's only good. Okay, how does that work? So as I've talked before, quantum physics tells us that you can never get to absolute zero. And how? That's because no matter how cold it gets, no matter how cold we make it, there's always a quantum filament. There's always some quantum movement. And this quantum movement means that there's heat. So if we can never get to absolute zero, and then hot and cold are just an expression of more or less heat, because they're still hot. There's still heat at negative 500 degrees Celsius. So duality is an expression of one thing. Exactly, there's different octaves, different spectrums of light and dark, of hot and cold. There's just heat. There's just more or less heat. There's just more or less light. There's just more or less good. And where we land on that spectrum is typically up to us. How much good are we bringing into the world? How much light are we bringing into the world? Where are we vibrating? Because the universe will match our vibration. And and this is the other thing we got to remember now, if everything's working together for our good, if you really believe that, it doesn't mean that everything's good. In fact, it doesn't mean that everything has to appear good. We just have to remember the principle, because if the principle isn't working for us, it means that we're not in agreement with the principle. If you want the principles to work for you, you got to be in agreement with them. Here's how that works. So, first of all, you don't get caught up in the five senses. You don't get caught up in what the senses are telling you, because that stuff will change. That's what I'm telling you. What you think is good will become bad. A flower, the rosebud, blooms, The bud is beautiful. The flower is even more beautiful. And then it dies. That's bad. But then another one comes. That's good. You know the story of the farmer. I've told the story. A lot of people know the story, but I'll tell it really briefly. The farmer who had one horse, and the neighbor comes by and says, man, you're so lucky. I wish I had that horse. I wish I had a horse. I don't have anything. You're so lucky. And the farmer says, perhaps. And then the next day, the horse runs away, and the neighbor comes by and says, oh, that's really a stroke of bad luck, man. That sucks, you know? And the guy goes, perhaps. And then the next day, the horse comes back, and he brings like 5 other wild horses. Now the guy has 6 horses. The neighbor comes in and says, oh my God, man, you are so lucky. This is a stroke of luck. You're the best. You got such good luck, man. You are the richest guy in town. The guy goes, perhaps. And then the next day, the guy's son is training the new horses, and he gets bucked off and breaks his leg. The neighbor comes by, ooh, stroke of bad luck, dude. That sucks. And he goes, perhaps. Because the next day, the military comes and conscripts all the able-bodied men, and his son didn't have to go. What does the neighbor do? You're so lucky. And the guy says, of course, perhaps. What we think is bad turns to good. We have so many experiences in nature. I'm going to give you an experience in my life from yesterday. Okay, so, yesterday I'm moving apartments. I'm moving places. They're not even apartments. They're cabañas, like little jungle cabins, right? So I had this really cool place in Playa Negra, and I wanted to move a little closer to work in Playa Avellanas. Not bad either way. So I get everything. First of all, let me tell you about the weather. Here in Guanacaste in Costa Rica, it has typically, the rainy season starts like clockwork in the beginning of May, end of April, beginning of May, like clockwork. Every year that I've been here for 6 years, starts in May. Last year, it started in April. So this year, nothing. April, no rain. Then May, first week of May, second week of May, third week of May, no rain. And now we hadn't had any rain since, November. So it's dry and hot and dry and still, and it's just miserable. You're like, when the rain's going to come? Because this is our winter, right? The rainy season is our winter here, although it's summer in North America. So of course, I'm getting ready to move, and I've got everything lined up. And the day before I'm moving, I'm packing everything and getting everything organized because I've got a big truck coming, a guy with a truck. I got a guy with a truck. And then I got 2 other guys that are going to come help move. So I get this all set up. And the day before the move is supposed to happen, the rains come. The day before the rains come. So I was like, I know I was praying for rain, but not on the day that I'm moving. Couldn't it just wait 1 day, please? So okay, it's now the day of them. So the day before, it rains for like 5 hours. Starts in the afternoon, starts at like 1 noon in the afternoon, and it rains solid for like 5 hours. I'm like, oh man, everything's muddy. Okay, that's all right. Don't get caught up in appearances. Everything's working together for our good. All right, I'm aligning myself with the principle. No matter what the appearances are, everything is working together for good. So then, the day of the move comes. I'm finishing up packing, getting everything organized, so it's all outside for the guys to come, and waiting for the guys to come, and the guy who has the truck calls me and says, I just want to confirm, this is in the morning, I just want to confirm today. I'm like, yep, today 2:00, we're set, great, everybody's coming at 2. Of course, I'm going, usually it rains in the afternoons, but come on, Spirit. Come on, Spirit. I'm calling in my ancestors. I called on my parents. I called on my grandparents. I called on my friend Stacy, who passed away, my brother who passed away. I'm calling on all the ancestors. I'm calling on my guides. I'm saying, listen, Spirit, Jesus said that ye too shall do greater things than these. And if he can calm the storm, I'm going to calm this storm. So I get to move. So I'm praying. I know everything's working together for my good. I'm aligning myself with the principle. Everything's working together for my good. Okay? And then at 11 o'clock, it starts to rain. Now the guys are coming at 2. I'm thinking, okay, no problem. We're just going to clear up. It starts to get heavier. Noon, I'm talking torrential downpour. And it wasn't just like a little spittering for like a half hour. It was like for, noon, 1 o'clock. I'm going, oh man. Okay, Spirit. I'm going, okay, Spirit. I'm driving. I took a load over to the new place early with my dog. I had to get my dog there, right? So I figured I'm going to take the dog first, go back and meet the guys to move. And I'm driving. I'm like, now it's pouring even harder. I'm on this dirt road, driving down. My dog's like, I'm thinking, I can't even leave my car to get to the new place because it's raining so hard, like torrential. The windshield wipers are going so fast and nothing. You can't barely see. I'm going, all right, it's going to clear up by the time I get to the new place. I just know it. Well, it didn't clear up by the time I got to the new place. I was like, well, I got to run a quick errand. I got to go to the bank machine to get money to pay the guys. So why don't I do that? And by the time I'm done with the bank machine, it's going to clear up. Okay, get to the bank machine. It's pouring, it's pouring, it's pouring. I get back, and as I'm driving back, it starts to lighten up. And then by the time I get to my new place, it kind of just drizzling a little, which is fine. This is tropical rain. It's not like cold. It's fine. So I got my rain jacket on. I get my dog in the new place. I take a few things in, and I'm going to come back. And as I'm driving back to my old place, the guy with the truck calls me and says, I don't know how to tell you this. I'm so sorry, but I can't find the key to my truck. I go, what do you mean you can't find the key to your truck? How is that? It's your truck, right? Like, okay, I've misplaced my keys. I'm like, okay, no problem. Everything's working together for good. I'm in alignment with the principle. I tell him, no problem. Just open your heart. I go, open your heart and put out your hands and just go, guide me, spirit. I know they're here. Nothing is lost. The principle is nothing is ever lost. I can back that principle up with the first law of thermodynamics. Energy is neither created nor destroyed, but transferred or conveyed into various forms. That the first law of thermodynamics tells us that nothing is ever lost. Nothing can be lost. The universe is an efficient system. Everything just gets recycled. There's the same amount of energy there ever was right now, same amount of love, same amount of, that's the truth. There's never a shortage of anything. It's just a shortage of consciousness. This is the power. This is what I'm talking about. Don't get caught up in appearances. Everything is working together for our good. Now, so we're on the way. I'm driving back. The guy tells me he doesn't find the key. I'm telling him, it's all right. Put out your hands. You're going to be led. I'm praying to St. Anthony. Yes, I was born Catholic, but I'll tell you, don't mess with St. Anthony. You say this when you lose something and watch it come true. St. Anthony, please come around. Something is lost and must be found. And St. Anthony comes through. St. Anthony will come through for you. Don't get it twisted. So I'm praying to St. Anthony. I'm telling the guy to pray in Spanish. Santo Antonio. Algo perdido y necesito que encuentro. Like, come on, dude. Pray. And so nothing. And now I'm just like, okay, the guys are going to be here to move. And I've got an SUV that I can't fit like my furniture in and bookcases in and plants in, thinking. And we got a specific window. I prayed for the rain to stop and the rain stopped. Okay. So I'm like, thank you, Spirit. Thank you, ancestors. Hold on, So I'm thinking, what am I going to do? I just sit down for a minute, just breathe. And the whole time, my mind is going, this is fucked up, right? I want to be mad at the guy. I call the guy in Spanish. I go, no puedo mentir. No puedo mentir y decir que estoy contento con esta situación. Like, I can't lie and say I'm really happy with the situation. But I know this guy. He's a nice guy, and he wouldn't have. It's not like he was drinking and was like, I don't want to help you move. He really couldn't find the key. So, I have some friends with a pickup. Okay. The pickup's not big enough to move all the furniture. It'll take us a bunch of trips, but at least that's something. That's something. Okay. So I call my friend. Hey, I'm not asking you to help me move, but I'm wondering if I can borrow your pickup. He goes, no problem, mate. Come get it. Okay, cool. So I got a pickup. I remember I have another friend who offered. She said, if you never need anything, let me know. I was like, now's the time. I call her up. Hey, I got your pickup. Can I borrow your pickup? Sure. So the guys come to help me move. They're on a motorcycle. I hop on the back of the motorcycle with the one guy. We go over to one person's house, get the truck, bring it back. Then I'm like, all right, we're going to get the second truck. You, dude, start loading all the stuff in this truck. We're going to go get the second truck. And the guy says, I don't know how to drive. So we have 3 people, and I had 3 vehicles now, my SUV and 2 pickups. And one person doesn't know how to drive. I was like, okay, that's all right, Spirit. We got this. So I just know it. I'm like, okay, let's start loading this truck. We'll figure it out. Let's go get the other car. So we go to get the other car. By the time we come back, I had asked my cleaning friend, right? The lovely cleaning friend who cleans my house for me. I asked her to come so that when we move everything out, she can clean the old house and I'll leave it good for the people. And she comes and she just happened to bring her husband. I thought maybe you could use an extra helping hand, she said. Very nice of her. And so I go, do you know how to drive? He goes, yeah, of course I do. I go, great. So now we have 3 cars, 3 drivers, and 3 helpers, plus the cleaner. Man, we loaded everything up, and they know how to tie shit down, and we're getting it tied up. And it didn't rain the whole time. It took us 5 hours because we didn't have one big truck, and it's these trips down this really, 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 really bad dirt road. And now it's a muddy, bad dirt road with rain holes, potholes, all this stuff in it. So you go like 5 miles an hour, because everything's tied in the back of this pickup truck. It looked like the Beverly Hillbillies were moving in. And so so we get there, we get everything moved in, and these poor guys, we worked until almost 8:00 at night, moving everything because it took so many trips. I had it planned. It was going to be 1 trip in the big truck. Boom, done. 2 guys in a truck. That's all I need. And when I got last bit, got everything moved in, I dropped the trucks back off at the people's place, returned everybody's car, and was driving home, and it starts to rain. When we were done, I'm telling you, you can't make this up. Now, it's not because I'm special, which I am, but so are you. That's the thing. The principles of life work for us. You know that old saying from AA, like, it'll work if you work it. Well, it's true. The principles work if you are in alignment with them. So at every time, I could feel my egoic mind wanting to make the guy wrong. I wanted to make him so wrong for losing that. How do you lose a key to your own car? Now, I know about misplacing my keys, right? I can misplace them, but no, it was lost. Like, he went and had a new key made, right? How do you lose a key to your own truck that you use for business? Okay, no, right? I really wanted to go make him wrong. I really wanted to just be like, God, what the fuck? God, what the? How is this happening? The torrential rain and the thing and the blah. But, and, got to watch our language there. And there was that part of me, and I just recognized that part of me. There's another principle there. It's okay. You don't want to deny your feelings. You don't want to deny what's really going on. So I was constantly acknowledging that part of me that wanted to make him wrong, that part of me that wanted to give up, that part of me that wanted to make this a problem instead of a circumstance. That's the topic today. Let me remember that. You see, there were no problems. There are no problems in the mind of God. There are only solutions. Everything is working together for our good when we continue to anchor into the truth that there are no problems in the divine mind. Nothing is lost in the divine mind. There is no lack in the divine mind. There can't be. There cannot be. It's impossible because the divine mind is infinite intelligence. It is the consciousness. When I say divine mind, I'm talking about consciousness. It is the consciousness that birthed everything. Infinite potential, infinite possibility. And if that's the truth, then there are no problems, because if it's infinite potential and infinite possibility, there's an answer to every question and a solution to every problem. We just have to align ourselves with the flow of life and let life bring it to us in the form of ideas and downloads and insights and unexpected help and unexpected assistance. Life is happening for us. And when we move out of the victim consciousness, which is the consciousness that says, that's a problem, he's a problem, there's a problem, that's a problem, something's wrong, then we're staying in that lower level of consciousness, and it's impossible for anything better to happen. You can't solve the problem at the level of the problem. If you say there's a problem, then it's problem energy. You want to bring problem energy or bring circumstance energy? Because all things are just circumstances, and circumstances change. Circumstances bend and create things that you couldn't have imagined. Could I have imagined that she was going to bring her husband? Could I have to help me move? Could I have imagined that 2 friends were just happened to be home at that time, were willing to give me their? No, you couldn't make stuff like that up. So the truth is, this is where we land in it, is that circumstances will bend and conditions will bend themselves. As Reverend Michael Bernard Beckwith, my teacher, says, like metal filings to a magnet. They will bend and reform themselves if we're in alignment with the principle. So for things to work, you got to be in alignment with it. You can't be hanging out in problem energy when things are just a circumstance. It's just a circumstance. Man, I'm sorry I took my glasses off because I can't see all these beautiful comments you guys are bringing in. All right. Woohoo! Thank you. I love it. I'm just going to say thank you all so much. Thank you all so much, Matt Davis. Preach, baby. I'm preaching, Matt. I'm preaching. See you guys over here. Jeff, hi, everyone. I can't see so far. That camera's far away. But listen, in our lives, do we bring a problem or a problem energy to something that's just a circumstance? That's the question. And the choice is ours. So when we anchor into the spiritual principle that everything is working together for our good, no matter what the circumstances are, when we don't get caught up in appearances, Jesus said that, and man, I love me some Jesus. Don't get it confused with the Bible, because that's not Jesus. That's man. But there's some truth in the Bible, for sure. How do you know what's true? What's the word of God and what's the word of man? Well, if it's unconditional love, you can count on it being the word of God. If it's ugliness, as someone who needs to go to anger management school, again, as Reverend Michael says, if it's that, then it's not the word of God. That's the word of man. So Jesus said, don't get caught up in appearances. Things are not what they appear to be. When Jesus was on the Sermon on the Mount and he had 2 loaves of bread and 5 fish, did he say, oh shit, we're screwed? No, he gave thanks and it multiplied. He gave thanks. And what he also said is, ye too shall do greater things than these. I kept saying that to myself. I was like, okay, do I really believe that I can calm the storm? Ye too shall do greater things than these. And it doesn't have anything to do with me being special or me being no. It just has to do with us being in alignment with the principle, because principles work. It doesn't mean we have to keep ourselves open. We have to do our spiritual practice, but we have to do that so that we can stay open. But it doesn't matter really, because the law works no matter what. You don't have to pray and be a good person for the law of gravity to work, or the law of buoyancy. The law of buoyancy and the law of buoyancy and the law of gravity work whether you're a saint or a sinner, right? We're talking about law. Spiritual principle is law. So you just have to be in alignment. However, if I wasn't doing my spiritual practices and doing my daily morning sadhana to open myself up and doing my meditation and my prayer and hanging in that realm and watching good things like you're doing and going to places like Rythmia, if I wasn't doing those things on a consistent basis to keep myself open, when circumstances happen, I would be more inclined to bring a problem energy to it than realizing that circumstances change. And that when we anchor into the truth that there is one source, one power, one life, it is my life and your life, and there's no separation between you and me and the tree and the sea and the birds and the bees and that galaxy out there, that we're really, 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 for real, really all one. When we really believe that, then ye too shall calm the storms and walk on water and heal the sick and raise the dead. But you know what? Even Lazarus died again. Even Lazarus died again. That means you got to do the work. You got to do the work to keep ourselves open. We got to do the work to bring these old patterns. We got to do it. Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much. Okay, I thought this was going to be a short Facebook Live because I'm really tired after yesterday. I worked my tuchus off, okay? But it's not. I'm going for 30 minutes, okay? Listen. I'm so grateful. Thank you guys so much. I love doing this. I love that I get to do this. I love all of you checking in and tuning in. I love being here. And I'm wishing you a beautiful day. Stay in alignment with the principle that everything is working together for your good, no matter what the appearances are. Keep up your spiritual practices so that you can stay open and attuned to that vibration and energy that's flowing through you. And know that the law works no matter what. But you gotta be in alignment with it. There can't be a contradiction between what you believe in your heart and what you're saying from your lips. They gotta be aligned. And that's our spiritual work. Thank you so much. Peace and richest blessings. Have a beautiful, beautiful day.